Hey Facebook, how's everyone doing? Hope you're all having an amazing day so far. Tamie M coming to you live from TamieMCoaching.com. And question for you, what exactly does it take to finally attract lasting, happy, healthy love? What does it take? That's a question I asked myself for a very long time. And, through an awful lot of personal work, personal development work, healing and recovery work, learning about the magnetic law of attraction, and just staying on the track, just staying on the path and the journey of healing, recovery, and personal growth and development, I ultimately figured out a few things, some big, some small, but a few things that all lined up to my being able to manifest and attract lasting, happy, healthy love. Truly the love of my dreams. And as a result, the life of my dreams unfolding with my ultimate beloved. So I want to talk to you a little bit about today about what it is that I learned on my own journey that I think massively, and I mean massively, contributed to my ability to be able to attract that into my life. And what was it that stood in my way for so many years that I know is standing in the way for so many of you? And what it is that we can do about that. Before we get started, I'm going to take a quick moment to introduce myself in case we haven't met before. My name is Tamie M. I am an empowerment coach for women. I help women recover from unhealthy relationships so they can finally find and keep lasting, happy, healthy love. If you want some info on how I do that, you can get on over to TamieMCoaching.com. All the deets are there on my signature program. At the end of the live today, I'm going to tell you about something brand new and super special that you can access right now at a real discount, rock bottom low price is what I'm trying to say. So stick around till the end so you can get those deets. But if you want to know how it is that I help women recover from unhealthy relationships so they can finally find and keep lasting, happy, healthy love, you can get on over to TamieMCoaching.com. All the details are there on my main key signature program, but most importantly, there's a link at the bottom of that page that will enable you to book a free strategy session with me so we can talk about what's going on and how I can help. So, what does it take to finally attract lasting, happy, healthy love? I honestly believe that it boils down to one thing. It really boils down to one thing. It's no more complicated than this. Becoming an energetic and vibrational match to lasting, happy, healthy love. That's what it boils down to. Sounds simple, but not so easy in the beginning if we don't understand certain principles in terms of, how the universe works, how we fit into this world, how all of this goes down, which is very much what a good chunk of the work that I do, not entirely, but a good chunk of the work that I do with my clients is all about helping them understand the absolute power that they hold within themselves to up-level, shift, clear, and heal anything that is in the way of their being able to draw into their life lasting, happy, healthy love, or anything else they want for that matter. Okay? So I fully believe it boils down to becoming a vibrational match to lasting, happy, healthy love or anything else we want, like I said. The challenge with that is, and what many people don't realize, and what I didn't realize for a very long time, is that 5% of the game of life is conscious. 95% of the game of life is unconscious. And although we consciously say we want X, Y, Z, unconsciously over here, our vibrational resonance, what we are carrying in our unconscious and our subconscious mind, is not a match. In fact, often it's a match to the opposite of what we consciously say that we want. So the reality is, I believe it was Jolanda Van Zandt I first heard say this, and I absolutely believe this is, fundamentally true in terms of the law of magnetic attraction, how the universe works, no different than the law of gravity. Whether you understand it or not, the law of gravity is gonna happen in your life. Whether you understand it or not, whether you believe in it or not, same thing with the universal law of magnetic attraction. These metaphysical principles, how the universe works, that which is like unto itself is drawn. That which is like unto itself is drawn. And if 95% of the game of life is unconscious, we need to figure out what's going on in there so that what we are calling to us is actually what we want and not what we don't want. I skipped my point there. I believe it was Yolanda Van Zandt I first heard say that everything that comes into our life comes in through energetic invitation. Everything that shows up in your life shows up via energetic invitation. And that's going to piss a lot of you off, for sure. There was a time, quite a number of years ago, where that would have pissed me off too. I would have been like, fuck you. I know what I want, right? I know, I have a very clear idea of what it is I want, yet the exact opposite keeps showing up. I mean, initially it looks like what I want, or pretty darn close, but 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks in, rarely does it take longer than that. And I'm dealing with something that is not of my dreams, but more of my nightmares. So what the hell is going on, right? Why do we continually attract what we don't want when consciously we know we want something else? Everything that shows up in your life shows up via energetic invitation. So if you are carrying in your unconscious, as I was for many, many, many years, all kinds of limiting beliefs, and hey, welcome to the human race, by the way, here on planet Earth, for all of the growth and development and recovery work that I have done, I am very much a work in progress and still dealing with the next layer and the next layer and the next layer. It's like peeling an onion. You've heard that said before. There's always another layer. There's always another level, right? They kind of, I kind of get the feeling it never ends. But what's cool is the better we get at this type of work, the stronger we get, the more we heal, the more clear we become, the easier it all gets, and we start living much happier, healthy lives to begin with, right? To begin with. And that's kind of really what it boils down to. It all begins and ends here. I remember a coach saying that to me many years ago, like 20 odd years ago. Everything begins and ends here. If you've tuned into me before, you've heard me say, and I didn't make this up, I learned this as a student of A Course in Miracles. Our outside is always a reflection of our inside. Our outside is always a reflection of our inside. So if you're anything like I was for many years, where in your inside, in your unconscious, you are carrying around a whole bunch of limiting beliefs, and you haven't even begun the work of, rolling up your sleeves and starting to heal and shift and reframe and clear those limiting beliefs, they're acting like magnets, attracting what is a vibrational match to those limiting beliefs, no matter what you're thinking consciously. If you are anything like I was for many years, and you are carrying a whole bunch of unresolved traumas and wounds, the vast majority of us here on planet Earth grew up in what is considered to be less than nurturing family of origin environments. Some of us, unfortunately, grew up in more severely less than nurturing, more abusive family of origin environments, usually being raised by people who themselves had been abused. So it's not about blame, and it's not about walking through life as a victim, but it is about getting real, getting dirt honest, and telling ourselves the truth about what the hell we've lived that we're still carrying unconsciously and in our energetic force field that is causing us to unconsciously act out these patterns that were ingrained in us, imprinted upon us within the first 7 years of life, 5 to 7, they say, when we were wide open and like little sponges before we had a say in the matter, and people just doing the best they can with the limited resources they have. And my battery's gonna die on me here, forgive me. Some of those resources are more, for some, those resources were like, right, like not much to work with, right? Not about blame. Let's just tell ourselves the truth about what it is that we have lived. Forgive ourselves and others as we go through the process of doing our healing work, so that we can get to a place of clearing out this, unconscious garbage, these old wounds and traumas that, just like the limiting beliefs we carry in our unconscious mind and therefore our energetic force field, that act like magnets, attracting to us what we don't want. The good news is we have the power to roll up our sleeves and do the healing and recovery work. We have the power to go inside and heal and tell ourselves a new and true story, to reframe, get rid of the old limiting beliefs and tell ourselves the new story. But we have to know how to get into our unconscious to do that reprogramming, and we have to be willing to do the work. And it's not always comfortable. Sometimes it's quite uncomfortable to go inside and look at the shit that went on 20, 30, or 40 years ago. And a lot of people will tell you, look, it happened 40 years ago, let it go already. But the reality is you can't let it go till you actually heal it. To think that you can just run from it, medicate it, bypass it, do nothing about the actual healing and recovery work is very naive and misguided advice, if that is the advice that you are receiving. And I would ask you, how well has that worked for you so far? Probably not very. I know for me it didn't work very well. I tried everything to bypass the original wounding and trauma that happened in the first 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 14, 15 years of my life. I tried everything to bypass having to go in there and actually heal that stuff. And the only thing that brought me to a place of finally being able to manifest and attract lasting, happy, healthy love was the willingness, finally surrendering and becoming willing to go in and do that deep dive work for as long as it took, until I finally got to a place of loving myself so deeply that my outside became a match to my inside. Rather than attracting one narcissistic, toxic, abusive partner after another, after another, after another, that was an absolute match to the patterns I had lived with my very sick family of origin, by doing the work, I brought myself to a place of healing. And it's, again, we're humans on planet Earth. It never ends. It's not to say that all of my work is done. We are always a work in progress. But compared to where I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago, clients that I work with, who, compared to where they were 2 months ago and where they are today, we can quantum shift very quickly when we know how to do it. If I knew 20 years ago what I know today, oh, la 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 la, like life would have been very different a whole lot sooner. The point being, the point that I am trying to make is we cannot, especially if we have unresolved trauma, unresolved issues, if we're carrying around a bunch of fear, toxic shame that probably doesn't even belong to us, and even if some of it does, traumas, wounds, lies about who we are, if we've been the family scapegoat, if we've been manipulated in all of our relationships, all of that garbage, right? If that's what we're carrying around, we're going to attract a match to that. And that's no fun. It's no fun. If you're anything like me, all you want is just to be able to enjoy happy, healthy, peaceful, harmonious love. It shouldn't be that hard. But for many of us who have come through the kind of experiences that we have, it is hard. Because nobody teaches us, no one taught us in school that our outside is a reflection of our inside, and if it's showing up on your radar romantically or in any other area of your life, it's a vibrational match to something you're carrying. Doesn't mean that if you're attracting a sociopath, you're a sociopath. What it means is that that sociopath you are attracting is like, fits with you like a piece to a puzzle. If they are in your reality, especially if you can't get rid of them, there's something that you are carrying that causes that like key in a lock sort of attraction connection. And that will be held in place until you figure out what it is that you carry that is the fit to that energetically. And all of that, the vast majority of it, in my experience, personally and professionally, is unconscious, right? So we need to know how to get in there and heal and clear that stuff. And again, my battery is, my apologies, friends, my battery's, I'm being warned that my phone's gonna die here. So if you lose me, if I lose you, we'll talk again soon. On a bit of a rant today, but I just want to impress upon you the importance of going inside and doing the deep work. If you're struggling in this area of your life, you cannot bypass it and expect to see results. You cannot bypass it and expect to see results. If you're wondering why you continually find yourselves in these unhealthy patterns, the answers lie inside of you. Very easy to point fingers and blame and take their inventory, and often they give us plenty to point at, right? Often. But that isn't a solution. That doesn't help you. Recognize that the world is your mirror, and they are reflecting back to you what it is that you are already doing to yourself. True story. And I know this from personal experience. What it is that was done to you, what sort of emotional climate you lived in for the first 7 years of your life for sure, what disappointing, painful experiences you had around love, what disappointing, hurtful, painful messages you received around love and your worthiness, in particular, your deservedness with regards to love, all of that stuff. If you haven't cleaned that up, it's going to keep showing up. So you can kick them to the curb, you can break up with them, you can divorce them, all you want, until you shift what's going on the inside of you. You're just going to attract another one, usually worse than the last, in my experience. In my experience. So that, my friends, is what it takes, in my opinion, to finally manifest and attract lasting, happy, healthy love. We have to be willing to become a vibrational match. Are you a match to what it is that you say you want? And if not, when would now be a good time to start doing the work so that you can become a vibrational match to what it is that you actually do want? When would now be a good time to start doing that work? I have just this week released a new program called The Art and Science of Finally Manifesting Lasting, Happy, Healthy Love. It's a digital course, a 4-week program, killer powerful, very, very powerful. And for this introductory, like first week as I launch it, I'm offering it at a 50% discount, which is a ridiculously low price, as well as including 6 weekly live Q&As. So as you go through the course material, every Saturday you can hop on a live Q&A, or you can drop your questions into the Facebook group, and I will address them on the live Q&A that will take place starting this Saturday, every Saturday for 6 consecutive weeks. After this week, once that opens, it will go back up to the regular price. So if you'd like some information on that and you'd like to get started with us this week, drop me a comment or send me a private message and I'll be happy to send you the info. If you know you're someone who needs to go on a deeper dive, the Freedom Class, my signature program, All the details are sitting there at TamieMCoaching.com. You can book a free strategy call with me, and we can talk about whether or not you're a fit for that program. That is 6 weeks intensive group coaching, live Q&As, unlimited access to me, full-on support, life-changing course content. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and spinning your wheels in the same unproductive, painful relationship patterns, it's just a matter of doing the work. It's just a matter of loving you enough to invest your time, your energy, and your resources into doing the work for you. And Lord knows you deserve that. You deserve to have all of your heart's desires come true. You really do. And I can show you how. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment or send me a private message, and I'd be happy to connect with you. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a wrap and wish each and every one of you a blessed day. As Marianne Williamson would say, may you be happy, may you be blessed, may you be loved. And as Tamie M would say, know your value and unlock your freedom. Mwah. Much love. Bye for now.